Services did a lot of new construction in the 1980s. I also promised people I would not steal their thunder by talking about all the talking points that I gave everybody to say. So I'm going to just talk about the fact that we did do construction in the 1980s when the housing market was hot and vacant lots were plentiful. We did four units on Scranton Street in the West River neighborhood. We did 2 units on County Street right behind our office, 2 units on Hudson Street. Then we went into the Cedar Hill neighborhood and we did 14 units there. And then finally we did 32 units at the Baldwin Court townhouses at the intersection of Henry Street and County Street. So we've operated in a lot of different neighborhoods and produced a lot of housing. The 1990s were a different time in New Haven, and then the property values plunged, abandonment proliferated, and we got into doing gut rehabs of vacant properties that we were able to obtain relatively inexpensively, and the costs of doing the renovations did not even come close to what the cost of renovations is today. But we did those kinds of projects, and then we had and then prices began to go up, and then investors came into the neighborhoods and they drove up prices. It became harder for us to acquire properties, and so we've gone back to new construction because, believe it or not, we can produce a newly constructed 2-family house and single-family houses for less money than doing the restoration of historic buildings, especially when we have to pay a lot of money to acquire them. So that's what we're celebrating today. We have 4 lots that we received from the city of New Haven, and we're very appreciative of that. And I'm pleased to announce that we have another 2 vacant lots that have been approved by the Board of Alders that will be starting sometime in 2023. And we are also looking to be able to expand the horizons and get more vacant lots from the city, city-owned lots, because we are going to be able to produce them relatively quickly, we do need to subsidize them to keep them affordable to the people we want to be able to sell them to, but we're going to be productive in the new construction. And then of course we will always take on a house that may be an existing property to do a gut renovation for it, all for home ownership, all for first-time home buyers, and that's what our city needs. So I will stop there, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce our senior senator from the state of Connecticut, Richard Blumenthal, and I will turn it over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. I'm really honored and excited to be here on this absolutely beautiful day. I'm here, I think, representing not only myself, but Rosa Laura's staff is with us as well, and as you know, she has been such a steadfast champion of housing as the chair of appropriations in the House of Representatives. She'll be the ranking Democrat there in the new Congress, and so she's going to have a vital role to play. But really, we as a delegation have been working on housing issues because, let's face facts, we have a housing crisis in this country, unmatched in recent history. We have a housing crisis in the state of Connecticut that is unmatched. And the most visible sign of it may be homelessness, including homelessness among our veterans. That's not their fault. It is on us as well. And what Jim has just described to you in terms of the economics is also part of the challenge. Construction of new housing is where it's at, and Neighborhood Housing Services, thank you for meeting that challenge head on. You deserve our thanks. A great round of applause for all of the staff, all of the board, and to Jim Paley, who has worked so long and hard on this issue. Now, a lot of people are going to say, oh, 1 and 2 family housing, you know, how does that meet the need? You ought to construct big housing, hundreds of families. Well, the fact of the matter is, you can score a lot of runs by hitting singles and doubles, right? You don't need to hit a home run every time to win a game. And Neighborhood Housing Services believes in getting on base because that's what we need to score. Now, I recognize the baseball season is long gone, so I'm trying to think of soccer or football, but the principle is the same. You need to score one by one, and that's what Neighborhood Housing Services does. And let me say one more thing. Neighborhood Housing Services wouldn't be as successful as it is without the community being behind it, without residents of this community, without New Haven, and the folks who live in this area and others who will take advantage of this housing, willing to put their lives on the line and say, we support it. And that is a tribute to Connecticut and the New Haven community. I want to present to Jim this certificate of special recognition to Neighborhood Housing Services for the work that they are doing here and all around New Haven. Thank you, Jim, for all that you have done. That is just one minor token tribute, but a great big thanks to Neighborhood Housing Services and to the City of New Haven for its support. And speaking of the City of New Haven, I want to introduce another longtime champion of better housing and environmental interests, the great mayor of New Haven, Justin Elliker.
It's a beautiful day, but it's chilly, right? It's chilly. The wind's coming in, but I'm feeling warm in my heart. I had a little accident. I don't know if you see over Thanksgiving. My kids and their cousins were chasing me around the yard, and I fell on asphalt. So I got stitches and everything. Spent the night in the ER. So I'm a mess, but New Haven is just rocking it. So that's a good thing, right? And Jim, you and your team have scored. Senator Blumenthal scored a touchdown. Scored a touchdown. We're trying to with the football metaphors. Over 300 families have been assisted over the years with the work that NHS has done. And you think about 300 families, right? And families in New Haven are oftentimes pretty big. You have impacted thousands and thousands of lives over many years and built equity in our community. This is not just about a house becoming a home, but it is about people building wealth and supporting people to have the ability to determine their future forward, to pass on that wealth to future generations. And that, to me, is what is inspiring about the work you do here and the work that we see today on this site. To be honest, I looked at these talking points and thought there must be a mistake because it said groundbreaking and not ribbon cutting, because the work that NHS usually does is renovating a lot of homes, right? That's overwhelmingly, as Jim said earlier, the work that you do. For you to be flexible and creative in the way that you approach housing. And when I showed up and I was like, where's the house? On this side, I was looking for ribbon cutting. I was like, my PR people are right. It is a groundbreaking. You have been groundbreaking metaphorically for many, many years in helping our community. And grateful for your partnership and the work that you're doing to continue to build these homes in our community. And I also wanted to just give a shout out to our city staff. And I see folks from LCI in the back. I saw Arlevia's wandering around here too. Oh, she's behind me. She's behind me. Working. So part of affordable housing, and I'll be quick because there's a lot of speakers and it's chilly. And I have to get back to City Hall. But part of affordable housing is creating new units, and we're working very, very hard to do that, both single houses at a time, and the work that I see Mark, our team back there, that is doing some of our own projects, building new homes, 1 and 2 family homes. Part of it is larger developments like Beulah, like Ashman Street. You're going to see a significant affordable development there. We're groundbreaking on the Coliseum site that has a percentage of affordable housing. Part of it is about requiring new developments through policy. To include affordable housing. The Board of Alders, in partnership with my office, has done just that. And part of it is holding absentee landlords accountable. And because affordable housing may be affordable, but it's got to be safe too. And Arlevia does not kid around. Let me just be clear. She does not, if you're an absentee landlord that's not taking care, Arlevia's coming. She's going to hold you accountable. And so I want to thank you, Arlevia, for your leadership too. She's just rocking it left and right. So just to finish up, I want to underscore the idea that the NHS team is not building houses, they're building a home, because you not only build the infrastructure, but you help support families to ensure that they have the tools that they need to make that home a place that they can keep in their family for generations. We're grateful for your partnership. We have a lot more work to do together, and I stand ready to do that with you, Jim. Thank you. And now I'm going to hand it over to Chaffa, Lisa Hensley.
Thank you. Well, first, I just want to say good afternoon and thank you so much for the opportunity to be here and to speak on behalf of Chaffa. This will be short and sweet, so I'm going to help get you out of this cold air as soon as possible. As you know, creating affordable housing opportunities for low and moderate income families in Connecticut is Chaffa's mission, and we are happy to contribute, in addition to the Department of Housing and the City of New Haven, to the financing of these new homes utilizing Chaffa's HTCC program. Additionally, as the Managing Director of Homeownership, I would be remiss if I did not mention that we hope the prospective homeowners, home buyers will explore the many affordable financing options offered by Chaffa for the purchase of these homes. Thank you again for the opportunity to be here, and I look forward to seeing the construction of these beautiful homes by NHS of New Haven. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce Steve Winter.
Thanks. Good afternoon, everyone. I begin with some remarks from my colleague across the street, Alder Smith. He says, "I truly wish I could be with you all today. However, I am entirely grateful to the NHS of New Haven for their continued investments in our city and in our neighborhood in particular. The projects that we are celebrating will change the lives of families for generations to come, and that is no small feat. I am proud that we have partners who are so dedicated to equity, affordable housing, and first-time homeownership. NHS of New Haven is truly revitalizing the sites that we are celebrating. They're also helping to revitalize a neighborhood that is constantly working towards a better future for our youth. As the Alder of Ward 20, I'm humbled and honored to be a small part of this monumental effort. I give my sincere thanks to the entire team at NHS. I also want to thank Senator Blumenthal for being a stalwart advocate for us, and Mayor Alder for being a man of integrity and supporting the city's legislative agenda to provide more affordable housing and opportunities for residents to become informed homeowners. And most importantly, I look forward to greeting my new neighbors and welcoming them to Newhallville once these homes are occupied. I pray that you all remain well. To quote our current U.S. Secretary of Transportation, Pete Buttigieg, we need to intentionally invest in health, in home ownership, in entrepreneurship, in access to democracy, and economic empowerment. Thank you all for visiting my neighborhood. We hope to see you all again. God bless you." And for my part, I would just say that there's such a wonderful spirit of collaboration in Newhallville, from the management team to our city staff, to our local nonprofits, to our partners at the state and federal government. And that's what it takes with these affordable housing projects. Ingenuity and resources from a wide variety of stakeholders. And it all comes together with projects like the one next door. And I would just say, like, in 5 years on the Board of Alders, the happiest I've seen anyone was when Miss Baines got to walk into her new home next door. It was like truly amazing, remarkable. And so in that spirit of collaboration, I also wanted to mention that NHS is helping us market a home that was built by the Yale School of Architecture just a few blocks away on West Division Street. And that is a house that Columbus House is marketing to a first-time home buyer. So that'll be another Newhallville homeowner, and that's at 324 West Division. So if you know anyone who's thinking about purchasing a home and might want to move to New Haven, move to Newhallville, check out 324 West Division. It's a beautiful house, and it'll be a wonderful home for a family here in Newhallville. So with that, I would like to introduce Eileen Anderson from NeighborWorks.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Jim, for inviting NeighborWorks to be part of this groundbreaking for 4 new Newhallville homes. I'm honored to be here with Senator Blumenthal, Mayor Alder, and all the esteemed guests that are here today. NeighborWorks America is a national nonprofit established by Congress. We support a network of 250 nonprofit organizations around the country, including 7 right here in Connecticut, who are dedicated to creating affordable homes, improving lives, and strengthening communities. We thank Senator Blumenthal for his continued support of NeighborWorks America. We invest in our organizations with funding, training, and technical assistance because we know they can deliver. Over the past 5 years, we've invested $1.6 million in NHS of New Haven from our core congressional appropriation. And during that time, NHS has educated 8,400 customers, created 641 new homeowners, and generated more than $144 million in investment in the city of New Haven. NHS of New Haven has been part of the NeighborWorks for the very start, nearly 43 years. The NHS model was established to revitalize communities in partnership with people who live there and have a stake in their future. The model of resident engagement is fundamental to everything NHS of New Haven undertakes to this day. In fact, they are well known for it. Strengthening communities also takes partnerships, financial institutions, government, business, universities, and more. All of you here today are part of that partnership. Coming together to bring investment back, to create healthy neighborhoods where people can live, work, and play. We know that homeownership is a pillar of strong and stable community. It's a pillar for creating generational wealth. And as we see today, creating opportunities for sustainable homeownership. And that is what NHS does best. The 4 new homes that are being built are already spoken for. And the homeowners that will live here will not just have beautiful new homes, but they will have the knowledge and support to secure their financial future for a very long time. Congratulations to NHS of New Haven, and congratulations to the homeowners. Thank you. It's my turn to introduce Arlevia Samuels, Executive Director of Livable Communities.
Good afternoon. I have a little say here, but I want to start with a lot of people know LCI because of our enforcement. As the mayor pointed out, we do a lot of code enforcement, but we also do a lot of other great things. And one of our programs is why we're here today is because we love to partner with our nonprofit to do great things such as development and home ownership, even rental units. We're right now, though, would like to congratulate Jim and the rest of the NHS team on the wonderful job they do. Well done job, so well done in the provision of not only affordable housing units, but home ownership. There's always a lot of conversations regarding the lack of affordable housing units, which is very important. But at the same time, there's a lack of affordable home ownership units. And what the team at NHS does is they create a pathway from renters to home ownership. And with these 10 units coming up, you have 5 houses creating 5 new homeowners at affordable rents who are also getting the gift of generational wealth by a second unit to rent out to an affordable tenant. For that job that you do, we love partnering with you. And we do this with we have several nonprofit partners in the city of New Haven in addition to our own developments. But this is about NHS today. The partnership is imperative. It leads to the preservation and creation of those affordable units, the home ownership, the generational wealth. And we couldn't be prouder to have a better partner. We look forward to continuing this. Those other 2 lots are coming, I know. And we'll be here again soon. Thank you.
My name is Bridget Russell, and I have the honor and the privilege of working as the managing director for the Homeownership Center. And the reason why I say that is my team in the Homeownership Center, we get to work with all of these wonderful people who touch our lives, who purchase the homes. So I have the pleasure of introducing one of our future homeowners, whose lot you guys are all standing on right now. But before I introduce her, I just want to do a shout out and maybe the other homeowners of other 3 lots that we are going to be doing if you guys can stand up right now. So we're also doing additional lots on Bassett Street. Bassett Street, there she is over there. on Lilac, also, back there, and also on Butler. So wonderful to have everybody here with us today. Now, the person I want to introduce to you today is Alonda Emery, and she will be purchasing a home that will be built on this lot. Alonda.
Thank you very much. I'm truly honored to be here, and I'm blessed to have this opportunity. And Herb, where is he at? Herb, as my realtor, there he is. He would know better than anybody else how difficult it's been, and throughout the beginning and the end of the pandemic, looking for a home that's affordable, and he would not let me settle for anything less than what the neighborhood housing service could provide. They have been crucial to my journey. Like, I don't think I would be here without them. And their instructors, they work as like an infinite well of knowledge that you can just peer into and use the tools that they give you to build your future. And their courses are so in-depth and beneficial that they will help you with your stability financially, and eventually reach your goals to home ownership. I'm lucky that I didn't have to travel too far to find my home, and I'm glad I could stand where eventually it will stand. I've lived here and worked here in New Haven for a long time, and what's inspired me is my older sister, Alexia. She was a police officer here in New Haven. She's also owned a few homes in New Haven as well. My grandmother, she used to own Ferry Market on Ferry Street, and my mother would always tell me that she can make something out of nothing. And this is just part of me making something out of myself as well. And I'm extremely lucky to have this built, and I love every house that they have built thus far, and it has really truly the ability to change a whole neighborhood just to see one or two of the houses that they've added to the city. And I wish and I hope to continue to see more of that and throughout the city. And like I said, I was born here at Yale New Haven Hospital, as I'm sure many of us were. I worked here at St. Ray's, gone to school here at Career, and I was raised here at Brookside and Brookside Avenue, and there was amazing what they've done as well. And I'm proud to stand here and be able to say that I'll own my first home here in New Haven. And thank you to everyone who has made this opportunity possible. I would like to thank my parents for believing in me, and my aunt who is here supporting me, who told me about neighborhood housing services programs, and everyone who made this possible, as well as Herb for never stop believing in me. Thank you very much, everyone.
Okay, now for the photo op, shovels in hand, hard hats on.
Okay, tell us when. I'll count to three. Okay. 1, 2, 3. All right.